We request your cooperation by supporting the
Quick corporation.
prohibiting racial and ethnic comments or other intimidating actions directed against officials, student athletes, coaches, or representatives will not be tolerated in our ground zero. And now for your starting lineup of today's game. First, Christendom College. Number 16, Paul Miller. Number 7, Gus Coleman. Number 4, Steve Sullivan. Number 22, Joe Romeo. Number 24, Edmund Thomas. Number 21, Roland Perry. Number 1, Sam Williams. Number 11, Luke Roman. Number 25, Will Reese. And now for your Central Penn Knights. Starting with number 9, DeMarcus Wilson. Number 34, David Thomas. Number 43, Tanner McCoy. Number 13, Nic Joseph. Number 31, Dave Hoffman. Number 23, Jordan Davis. Number 6, Tanner Boyd. Number 15, Terrell Smith-Cole. Number 7, Tyler Hayes. Number 99, Anthony Garcia. And now, we ask for everyone, please rise and use your hats as we honor Maryland representing our national anthem.
Welcome everybody to the Central Penn College Knights' second home contest on the season, just 2 days after a convincing opening doubleheader that saw the Knights knock off Patrick Henry. We are back here for an ESAC conference, our first conference matchups of the season as the Knights take on Christendom here in FMB Field, being joined by the one and only Steve Hassinger. Here on the call today, Steve, it was certainly a convincing effort on Wednesday. What do you expect to see out of the Knights today?
It was a convincing effort, and it was good to see so many of the Knights get game time and just be able to get back onto the field. So we have a little bit more of a regular lineup here today, and it's going to be a little tighter contest, I think, with Christendom. Christendom coming in with a record of 4-3. They're already 2-2 in the conference. They started out the season with 4 wins, winning a doubleheader at Penn State Fayette and at Williamson. And then they dropped a doubleheader to Bucks County Community College and lost to Virginia State 10-4. So they're on a 3-game losing streak, but a 2-2 conference record.
Interestingly enough, Williamson, another one of our ESAC foes, Christendom disposed of them 18-5 and 13-3 back on March 14th. The very next day, they dropped both games of a doubleheader to Bucks 15-5 and 12-3. So if that's any indication, Bucks should be a force to be reckoned with here in the 2026 season.
And that wouldn't be anything new in the ESAC.
Certainly not. Certainly not. We did want to talk about Anthony Garcia, our starter today, number 99. Last year, pitched in only 8 innings. Did give up 15 hits, but only and had a 7.27 ERA with 7 earned runs in those 8.2 innings in 8 games. So didn't start any contests last year. So certainly going to be interesting to see what Garcia is able to give the Knights today. Just a warning, it's windy here, and when that happens, that does wreak havoc on our cameras. So I apologize in advance should our camera be a little motion back and forth. We're doing everything we can to make sure that it's as crisp a live stream as possible, but we cannot control the elements. And if we could, we'd tell it to stop, Steve.
We sure would, and we would hold off the rain for a few hours.
We are starting here a little bit early. First pitch at 1:50 because of the potential rain later this afternoon. Slight chance of showers here within the next hour, but really those showers don't seem to appear to be rolling until after 5 p.m. as the pitch over to third and a quick out. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Amuso there. Swinging early in the count, and a good play for the Knights to retire 1.
Good to see Garcia get that leadoff batter. This is the second appearance of the year for Garcia. He's pitched 2 1/3 innings, giving up 3 earned runs on 4 hits and 2 walks with 1 strikeout.
And Coleman steps in for Christendom and takes a strike.
About 25 degrees warmer at game time today than it was on Wednesday.
No question. Gus Coleman steps in with a 571 average. And there's a shot. Smith Cole can't come up with it. That was ripped for a base hit.
Yeah, just off the top of Smith Cole's glove there. Just couldn't quite get over there in time to grab it. It was really hit hard.
And that certainly will go as a base hit for Coleman, who continues to improve upon that average. I will say that based on our statistics, they have played 7 games, but only 5 games are showing up on the statistics sheet. So we go with what we have. And Sullivan steps in. You want to talk about some impressive numbers here, Steve. How about 11 for 18 with 10 RBI, 2 home runs, and a 6.11 average here thus far?
Where was he in my fantasy baseball draft last
It's a great question as he rips one to right field. Back-to-back singles for Christendom here to start this game. And not the start that Garcia was hoping for as the cleanup hitter, Romero, steps into the to the plate. 2 Romeros here today. Junior Joe Romero is the gentleman coming up to bat. He's hitting .500. Whereas freshman Sam Romero, number 1, also hitting .500. So the Romero crew batting .500 on the season thus far. And there's a shot. The wind is going to play some havoc with this. But Kaufman does come up with it. And the tag is going to go to third. And no one covering first. Smith Cole thought he had a shot. But nonetheless, a fly out to Kaufman.
Yeah, the wind is definitely going to be a challenge on those fly balls and high pop-ups today. Wind blowing hard from right to left. Predictions for 30-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon.
And Edmund Thomas will step in. Number 24, sophomore out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And I'll tell you the interesting thing about Christendom, they have got people from all over the United States. Nebraska, New Jersey, of course Virginia, where they are located, Wisconsin, Georgia, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Michigan, California. Two of the men are from California, Lopez and Romero, as well as Corpus Christi, Texas, as Edmund Thomas, all the way from Texas. Only ever been to Texas one time, Steve, and that's when we had a layover in Dallas. We laid over there for about an hour. Does that count?
I mean, it does.
I didn't leave the airport.
It's more times than I've been there. My wife has been there, but she didn't take me along that time. She did go to Cowboys Stadium, though, Texas Stadium, and actually had a conference there and ate on the field.
Well, and I've only ever been to California once. We flew into LAX. I walked outside to say I did walk out of the airport at least, and then had to wait in another 45-minute line to get back through. But it was worth it because I got to walk outside in LA. So that was cool.
And Paul, we should note that Eddie Menke has come in as the courtesy runner here at first base. So it's Menke at first, runners at first and third.
And that is something where if the pitchers are batting as Munson fouls it off. Pardon me, Thomas. I'm still thinking of Patrick Henry with Munson. So runners on first and third. With two down, Garcia has got to get this runner, and a big strikeout to end the inning. Convincing strikeout. That will end the first. Two runners did reach, but no harm, no foul. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. It's still 0-0.
Weis Markets and Weis Markets Charitable Foundation are committed to giving back to the communities they serve. With their Fight Hunger campaign, they aim to raise money and donate items to the local food banks in our area. You can help by choosing to round up your bill at our self-checkout registries. Thank you for your support. Eat better, spend less. That's why.
And again, we do want to thank Weis Markets for being our season-long sponsor here, both for our men's and women's basketball and baseball teams. So we want to give, again, a shout-out to Weis for all of their support. We will take a short break, and we'll be back here with you in just a minute. In steps Wilson, led off the contests against Patrick Henry. There's a shot up the middle. Great way to get started here for the Knights. Wilson laces one to center, and nice to see Wilson reach base. Does have 3 steals and 3 attempts thus far in the young season.
think he'd be looking to take advantage of that and that speed and steal second here at some point.
And he stays where he is, but he had a good secondary lead, and the ball gets away from Sullivan, and quickly on the passed ball, Wilson will take second. And already, 2 pitches, we already have a runner in scoring position.
Absolutely. And David Thomas has gotten off to a little bit of a slow start, but he did get his first hit on Wednesday. You know those hits are coming.
And that was over his head again as Wilson bluffed the steal to third. Come on out if you are in the area. We did start a little bit early today, hoping to finish up before the storms roll in. Is a little breezy, so if you have a windbreaker, I think that would probably help. And that one's nowhere near. That's almost scary when you see that coming at you.
It reminds me of Major League.
Except
just a bit outside.
Except there wasn't a dummy in the way that Charlie Sheen took their head off. And now here the manager is going to come out and have a quick conversation. Coleman is the pitcher. And that's scary. You know, he really wasn't anywhere close on those first couple pitches. Coleman 2-0 on the season. 5 earned runs in 11 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 10 hits, 5 earned in those 2 starts. Excuse me, he has started 1 of those games. Looked like it got some long relief in the other contest, so clearly one of Christendom's better pitchers, but my gosh, you got to be concerned. And it looks like he is coming out of the game. I'm not sure if there was an injury or what happened, but I think the manager saw something there that he did not like. So we're going to step aside while the Christendom new pitcher gets ready. We'll be back here with you to talk about number 21. Back here with you, again, not sure exactly what happened there, but Coleman faced one batter, had a passed ball after a first pitch laced shot to center, and then just absolutely couldn't find the strike zone on those next 2 pitches. So the manager spent no time, and then Thornberry comes in and promptly walks Thomas. And that's got to be tough coming in with 3 balls. Can't even, have 1 ball to get your bearings under you.
Yeah, and he threw hard and just a little high there. So first and third now with nobody out.
For Tanner McCoy, still leading the USCAA in batting average after a huge Wednesday. And there goes Thomas. And they're going to give him second.
Yeah, didn't really have a chance to throw him out, so they weren't going to take the chance. The catcher just throwing the ball back to the pitcher to prevent the runner from coming in from third.
thus far, McCoy has 7 RBIs. And as we mentioned, he went 1 for 2 in that first game. Actually brought his average down slightly, but did come back with a 2 for 3 in the second contest. And Thornberry's definitely got some electric stuff. Nice slider there, catching the outside corner.
Yeah, good pitch there.
Runners on second and third. Wilson on third. Thomas on second. And that's going to be right through the hole. And there comes one. They're going to hold Thomas at third as an RBI single for the early season MVP for the Knights, Tanner McCoy. And it's funny, Steve, I don't know if you were here, but when I was talking, I got a chance to talk to Connor before the game. He remarked about how many foul balls he hit on Wednesday.
Yeah, Tanner's off to a great start this season, swinging a hot bat.
And Nic Joseph had a first home run of the season for the Knights. I ran into him and told him we needed a few more because I needed to work on my home run call. He said he needed a few more because he needs to work on his home run trot. Nick's a great kid. I mean, one of the guys you see 100% of the time has a smile on his face. And it's hard not to be happy when you're in Nick's presence.
A couple more long balls, that smile will get even wider.
And going back to first. Do have the 3-camera setup. We've seen those. That's the first time we've checked in on the first base line. Try to get over there as quickly as we can. First and third. McCoy taking a nice size lead. And I'll tell you, that slider just caught the inside corner. Joseph smiles it off.
Yeah, a lot of movement on that pitch. That pitch would have been tough to hit, so probably good to let that one go.
In the pitch. And I don't know. They called the strike. The check swing strikeout.
And I think Nick knew it. Nick was actually ready to head to the dugout before they got the call.
And here is Nightly News co-player of the game from Game 2 over at Patrick Henry, Gabe Kaufman. Kaufman was 3 for 3 with 4 RBI in that game. Added a stolen base as well. And there goes McCoy. And there's no throw. Didn't get a call whether he appealed, but the second base umpire did not respond. So I'm assuming that that's going to be a ball there. Now we have McCoy and Thomas on the base paths. And he did get the strike call there, and Kaufman wasn't happy, thought it was low. Proud to be here at FNB Field on City Island. If you've never been here, you're missing a beautiful experience. We'll talk a little bit more about the Harrisburg Senators later on in the show, but we always want to thank the Senators for having us be their guests. And I believe their home opener is on April 7th, and as long as it's not frigid like it was last year, we will be here. And that slider from Thornberry is really tremendous. Back-to-back strikeouts with 2 on. That brings up McCahan.
Let's see if Jordan can get a clutch 2-out hit here. Runners at second and third.
One nothing Knights as Wilson scored on a McCoy single. Joseph and Kaufman both down on strikes, which brings up McCahan. That slider, I'll tell you, from Thornberry is quite impressive. Haven't had a chance to talk much about Thornberry. I believe this is his first appearance of the season. And I'll tell you, if they're going to get that call on that slider all day, Steve, it's going to be a tough road for the Knights.
That's a tough pitch to hit.
Certainly if they're going to get that outside corner. And the pitch. And I'll tell you, this I will say we do get this umpire quite regularly, and he does like to give that call on the outside corner, so the Knights need to prepare for that. Thornberry delivers. And he rung him up. McCahan goes down with his bat on his shoulder, and even with the hit that he allowed, does strike out the side. So an impressive first inning for Thornberry. We are going to go to the top of the second inning. Knights have a 1-0 lead.
Save the date for Friday, May 29th at 6 p.m. as the CPC Film Series returns for the spring term. Nightly News Hall of Famer Dylan Bowman and recent graduate Nick Hogan will present a special triple feature of their independent films. More information will be announced at the beginning of the spring term. Save the date for May 29th for this unique event.
And of course, always free, always open to the public. Please come out and support both Dylan and Nick. Dylan has screened some of his films in the past. But one new one and one film that is actually rescored by professional musicians. So Dylan really excited. And then Nick, this will be the first time he's ever going to have screened his work. He's an animator, so he's got about a 20-minute animated short. So they're all shorts. So essentially, before each film, the presenters are going to come up, talk a little bit about the production of each film. So, it might be about an hour and a half, I would imagine, 30 minutes per film. Each film is between 15 and 20 with about 15-minute discussion prior to. So this is going to be the most unique event in the history of the CPC Film Series. And we just celebrated number 30 with the Fight Club just last month.
Yeah, great opportunity for students, faculty, staff, and the community.
Absolutely.
To come out for free.
Open to the public, and all we ask is that if you get any concessions, that you leave us a donation. Not too much to ask.
Not at all.
Garcia had a good first inning. Can he repeat that? And up on his fists. And McCoy catches that one over at first base. Great catch.
Yeah, good job by Tanner to stay with that. And the umpire had a tough time getting out of the way there.
And, we mentioned this earlier, Steve, but the wind is swirling here. And I'll tell you, it's going to be really tough on some of these pop flies. Not to mention the sun is quite bright at this point. Garcia, a quick out. And hits that outside corner.
Garcia has come out throwing strikes and getting ahead of the hitters, which is good to see. And again, kept that leadoff hitter off base.
So Thornberry just flew out. This is Sam Romero. We'd actually talked about Sam a little bit earlier. And Sam, 9 of 18 with 5 RBI on the season, hitting .500. Also one of the pitchers for Christendom. And the pitch, just off the plate. Garcia is looking at a 1-2 count. And, we'd made this point, but, the Knights, if they're going to, keep up with their winning ways as that comes straight back, if they're going to keep up with their winning ways, they need Garcia to not only give a really strong outing today, but moving forward. Does not appear that Wyatt Kozer, we haven't gotten any word specifically, but he's not dressed, so it does not appear that he's available, and who knows how long that might last. And that's the problem about college baseball, Steve, essentially, especially with some of the games we didn't get to play early in the season. It's only about a 6-week season.
Yeah, and we talked about the need for the Knights to develop some of that pitching depth because they did lose quite a bit of pitching last year.
Straight back.
Garcia's throwing the ball well here, though, so far.
Sam Romero, the shortstop here today. And there's a shot to left. This is going to be tough for Joseph to get. That's going to be hit off the base of the wall. This is going to be 2. And he's going to hold it 2. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot Joseph could do with that one. That just got out there in a hurry.
Yeah, and the wind carrying the ball, although, I mean, he hit that very hard, but the wind, if anything, is blowing and carrying the ball somewhat to left field as well.
Brings up number 11, Luke Roman. Luke Roman's hitting 267, 4 out of 15. Does have 5 RBI. Caught that inside corner, and I'll tell you, that's right where this umpire just absolutely loves to call. And I'll tell you, Cameron Smiley was able to take advantage of that. So it helps that the Knights maybe know this umpire. Just off the plate there, count goes to 1-2.
Christendom from Front Royal, Virginia. Paul, I know we don't do away games, but if we did, we would be calling their games at Bing Crosby Stadium.
I would be very interested to learn more about that. I do know Front Royal because literally it is just down 81.
Yes.
It's sort of the alternative way to go to D.C. if you don't want to take the Beltway. You can take 81 to Front Royal. And there's a shot straight up the middle. They're waving him in. And the center fielder boots the ball.
Yeah, the ball was just misplayed out there in center field. I don't think they would have tried to score the runner if he had fielded it cleanly and come up throwing.
Joseph
wasn't able to do so.
Joseph would love to have that one back. We are not the official scorers here, but I'm just going to call that a hit.
It was definitely a hit. I think it's just
Whether
air,
they're on the base, on the extra base.
Yeah. Right back up the middle, almost hit Garcia.
Game now tied at 1. And here we go. Looks him back.
Throw a little bit off the base there, but Tanner did a good job of catching it and tagging the runner. Two out now with the runner at second.
So the 5-3 gets Reese. 1 run in, a runner on second for the top of the order as Musso comes up with 2 outs. 1-1 ball game here in the top of the second. Again, free entry if you want to come on out, if you're listening out there and in the vicinity. We'll be back here on Sunday and again next Wednesday. Sunday, Steve, looking at 72 degrees.
Even warmer than today, another 10 degrees. And I won't keep you wondering, Paul. I know you're wondering about Bing Crosby Stadium.
I would love to know.
With the help of Google, it says that in 1949, Mr. Bing Crosby agreed to appear at a fundraiser on behalf of the Recreation Association, which was attempting to raise money to build a baseball stadium. And Mr. Crosby also made a personal donation of $1,000.
Well, that was awfully nice of him. I'm just curious how, if he was from the area or if it just maybe they were fans of his. What's not to like? I mean, I got you there. Very interesting. And walks him. And now 2 men on. Not the worst thing in the world to walk a Musso, but to face Gus Coleman, who's hitting .571, it's tough to put another runner on first base in front of him. Now, you wonder, Coleman was the starting pitcher and left, so he's still in the game, so it doesn't seem like it's a serious injury, but they're trying to get Roman not paying attention there, but fortunately holds on to that ball. Musso on first base. The pitch from Garcia right down Broadway. Clearly has a really, really nice fastball. Haven't really seen a lot of the secondary arsenal here from Garcia. Outside.
Good stop by Boyd there on the pitch way outside.
And a very key early season matchup for for the Knights against Christendom here is as ESAC conference foes, along with Williamson and Bucks. And in years future, we're looking at expansion for the ESAC. We will see how that goes as the ball goes far out of play. And that'll be 2 strikes. So one more strike or keeping it in the infield will get Garcia out of this jam. And there's a shot to center. Can Joseph get there? And no, he can't. And the runners had to hold, and a double brings in 2 more on the Coleman double. And I'll tell you, that ball seemed to hang up there forever, but unfortunately, Joseph just couldn't get there.
Yeah, hit the deep right center, and just too far for him to be able to run that down.
Well, and, we made this point on Wednesday, Steve. Out there in the power alleys it's very strange for a stadium that the power alleys are actually the deepest part of the ballpark, but here, 405, dead center is 400. So, to your point, there's a lot of real estate out there. And the Knights trail 3-1. Gets the call, does Garcia there.
It looks like the Knights are going to get some bullpen activity here.
Well, with 8 games in 8 days, you have to imagine that Garcia is going to have a pretty nice leash here. So that was the point. So Wednesday, a doubleheader. Today, Sunday, and next Wednesday for Central Penn will all be home games. 8 consecutive home games.
And foul back to mess with our camera.
Just gets a piece of it.
Trying to make an adjustment to the camera here after that foul back. And that pitch is low. Good block again by Tanner. And that's going to be just foul down the third base line. So remains 2 strikes. Just a bit outside. 2-2 now. Big pitch here. Garcia doesn't want to go to a full count with runners at first or runner at second in scoring possession.
Does get him there, and that was huge for Garcia to get out of this inning. But they do put 3 runners across, and it's now 3-1 Christendom.
Celebrate Frozen Food Month by picking up Weis quality ice cream. With over 60 flavors, there's something the whole family will love. Eat better, spend less. That's Weis.
I'm going to take just a short break here, and we will be back with the bottom of the 2nd inning with the Knights trailing 3-1. Back here with you, Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger for the Nightly News. We're here in the bottom of the second. Knights trail 3-1 after really back-to-back-to-back doubles. Thornberry was not scheduled to start this game. Coleman pitched to the first batter plus. Did walk a batter and allow a single to Tanner McCoy, but then struck out the side. And Thornberry's been very impressive thus far.
And the clouds are rolling in here at the stadium.
Big cut from Boyd.
Good job by Tanner just to get a piece of that one there. Tough pitch on the outside corner of the plate.
We'll see. Boyd, the sole catcher. I did ask Kyle Brent before the game about who would be the backup catcher, and he said Jack Getty would actually be the backup catcher.
And good job by Tanner there to work that walk and get that leadoff hitter on. Really like to see Central Penn be able to answer that 3-run inning with a couple runs of their own here.
Smith Cole steps in. On the young season is yet to get a hit. Has walked, and Boyd quickly with the steal, and that throw goes into center field, and Boyd heading for third, and that is a huge mistake from Christendom.
Yeah, throw just really sailed on the catcher. So we've got a leadoff runner at third base here with nobody out.
And just high for Smith Cole. And low. Thornberry struggling to find the plate.
And again, we're without that scoreboard out in right field, but they are continuing to work on it today as we speak. And they anticipate that that new scoreboard will be ready to go within the next week.
Taken all the way is Smith Cole there for the first strike. And a big cut comes up empty as Tyler Haynes is on deck. And now Smith Cole's worked himself to a full count. And he got rung up again on that outside corner. The Knights have got to be aware of that.
Yeah, Smith Cole thought he had to walk there, but you said it earlier. That outside corner has been a popular strike call.
Haynes in a big spot here. The Knights have got to answer. That's off the plate. Now Thornberry knows that he's going to try to test that.
Go now, Tyler.
Can't hold up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the other reason you want to answer here quickly is because with the forecast of rain, you'd have no idea really how long this game might end up being.
Go, Tyler.
And again, I know we mentioned this earlier, but the wind is playing havoc with our cameras, so please excuse the movement. Again, if we could stop the wind, we most certainly would. I'm going to try to adjust it every half inning to keep it up as best we can.
Go, Tyler.
Haynes almost got hit there. Another full count for the Knights. And again, got to watch that outside corner. The pitch. High, and Haynes gets on. Bring it back to the top of the order.
Good at bat there by Haynes to draw the walk. Runners at first and third now with one out. Back to the top of the order.
And Wilson launched a single back in the first and scored the Knights' lone run to this point. Definitely a great addition at the top of the order for Central Penn, making his impact felt early. And he does get back over to first base. And the pitch, and there he goes. And Haynes gets in there with the stolen base. Now 2 runners in scoring position. And this is a spot that the Knights absolutely have to take advantage of.
And this time they do choose to throw through. Last time that they had a runner at third and the runner took off from first, they chose not to throw threw back to the pitcher. Close play there at second.
Inside on the breaking ball. And this is going to be a really tough play. Oh, and he hits the runner. And here comes another run. They're going to send the runner back to third. They're going to call the runner out. That is fairly surprising here. And they tell Haynes to go back to third. Boyd does score. And I guess the umpire's saying that the Wilson was in the base path, but I don't know how in the world that's the case. Nonetheless, the Knights do score. Steve, what are your thoughts on that play?
Well, now we've got runners at second and third.
And this is a huge at-bat for Thomas.
Go now, Dave.
Okay, actually, it appears like they did not score then.
Wow.
I'm without words here, Steve. How in the world does that run not score?
I don't know. I would think that the run was definitely going to score if he had made a good throw and gotten him at first.
Well, we will just file that into strange but true things that happen at FNB Field. And Thomas just cannot catch up to the fastball.
Well, I suppose he's saying that if the runner was out of the baseline, that run can't score, but it really did not appear to me like he was out of the baseline.
And this is going to be another tough play. Routine to first, and he comes off. And sort of, shall we say, a makeup call, possibly?
Yeah, the throw definitely pulled him off the base, and I think he did not get back quite in time.
An RBI for David Thomas. Reached base twice today, and now it's 3-2 Knights.
Knights just down by 1 now, so they've got that tying run at third base. Just a few sprinkles of rain starting to come down now.
McCoy steps in. Had the big single to knock in the first run, back in the first. And you're going to check on him over at first base. Thomas, not afraid to run over there, especially you get another guy in scoring position for the heart of the order, as the Knights do have 2 down, and there he goes. And another stolen base, and I'll tell you, it just seems like anytime the Knights get on first, it's almost an automatic.
Yeah, so far this season it has been, definitely. And there again, they didn't throw through with the runner at third, they just threw back to the pitcher.
And McCoy takes a strike. Outside for Thornberry.
And as hot as McCoy has been, you'd think with the base open, well, maybe they pitch around him a little bit or even intentionally walk him, but not with the guy on deck.
We got Joseph and Kaufman due up. And that will be off to our right. Kind of balanced our camera out a little bit, thankfully. McCoy.
Sure, that's what Tanner was saying. Like, let me foul one off here and see if I can balance that camera back out, and then I'll get the big hit.
Indeed. And there it is, and he almost took out the ump. Another tough play, but McCoy thrown out at first, but the Knights do add 1 on, but leave 2 in scoring position as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. The Knights trail 3-2.
Yeah, good play by the shortstop there to track that down. Weis Markets is proud to announce their new and improved grocery rewards program. Customers can earn and redeem their points to receive free or discounted Weis quality items. Visit weismarkets.com or stop by your local Weis Markets to learn more information. Eat better, spend less, that's Weis.
We'll take a short break. Back here with you, Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger. And Garcia still out there as there's a pop-up. Good catch out there by Joseph in center. That was Ian Lopez who came into the contest.
Garcia's been able to keep that leadoff hitter off, but the last inning, it was later on in the inning that he ran into trouble. So let's see if he can buckle down and get a quick inning here.
Another one out there. And Joseph again comes up with it. Quickly 2 down.
Fought that a little bit, but he stayed with it. That air is tough out there, so got to stay with those fly balls till the very, very last minute.
And to a point, maybe you can see the flags. It is blowing out toward left center, but swirling, as they say. Thornberry in there after back-to-back flyouts.
Right.
So again, Joe Romero came out of this game. And Ian Lopez checked in there. Again, not sure if there is an injury. We often don't get privy to health updates calling these games, unfortunately. So we just have to do our best to surmise what it could be. It also could be, Romero is a pitcher. Maybe he will be pitching the second contest, so he just wanted to get a couple of innings of work in the field. And there's a shot. Wilson comes up with it over to Tanner McCoy, and that's going to be a quick 1-2-3 inning for Garcia. Much needed, but the Knights still trail 3-2.
Absolutely. Now let's see if we can put some runs on the board. Paul, it's hard to study when you're hungry. The college pantry can help. Central Penn College and your Student Government Association are committed to ensuring that all of our CPC Knights have access to food when they need it. Requests are kept anonymous and can be submitted online. Look for the link under the links section of Student Central or contact Lindsay Garber, Director of Housing and Residence Life, at lindsaygarber@centralpenn.edu.
And of course, the food pantry is free to anyone, any student in any modality. So again, in order to that, you can check out Student Central or you can check out and email Lindsay Garber. We're going to take a short break and be right back. Back here with you, Paul Miller and Steve Hassinger. 3-2, Knights trail. But the heart of the order coming up. Nic Joseph, Kaufman, and McCahan all struck out in their first attempt back in the first inning. So again, a little bit of a struggle with some timely hitting here. They've had some traffic in both innings, have scored a single run in both innings, but could have done much better.
And even though the games against Patrick Henry weren't that close, we saw some issues again with clutch hitting with runners at second and third.
Joseph did homer in one of those contests, and a little excuse me shot. Looks like it's going to hang up there long enough to be caught. One quick out of Nic Joseph as Gabe Kaufman steps in. Kaufman not pleased with the strike calls the first time around, but Kaufman did go 3 for 3 with 4 RBI against Patrick Henry in that second game. Catches the catcher, as they say.
It'll be fun to see what this 3-4-5 lineup does for Central Penn throughout the season here with McCoy and Joseph and Kaufman.
And Dave Thomas in the 2-hole.
Yeah.
The lineup, I mean, it's definitely strong, and we're definitely going to be competitive in these ESAC games. There's no question. But sometimes we may have to slug it out. And there's a shot. This is going to go to the gap. And it goes!
No, it's not. It's going to go over the gap.
I'll tell you. The wind, a little bit of an assist there. I didn't know that was going to have the distance, but way back and gone for Gabe Kaufman with the second home run on the season for the Central Penn Knights. And Kaufman ties this game up with a long ball.
Yeah, and I don't really know how much the wind really assisted that because, like we said before, the wind seems to be blowing right to left, and that was to the gap in right center and just cleared the fence.
I'm not questioning whether Gabe has the power. It just, off the bat, it didn't look like it was a home run. But more power to him.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to have enough topspin on it there that it was going to get down on the track or hit the wall, but it carried well.
And McCahan steps in, did strike out in the first.
Now we've got a tied game at 3.
And that was a massively clutch home run there to tie this contest up. And Thornberry delivers way inside. And I'll tell you, Steve, Thornberry has really started losing his control here over the past 2 innings.
Well, with that shot that Kaufman hit, it makes you a little bit gun-shy, perhaps, for the next batter. See if they can take advantage of that walk and get another run here, take the lead.
Tanner Boyd walked, stole a base, and scored technically twice. Unfortunately, it only counted 1 time. And just off the plate, good eye for Boyd. Smith, Cole, then Haynes with only 1 out. And there's a shot. This is to the gap. And does bring it in for Christendom. Amuso. And Smith Cole with a runner on first base. And like to see Smith Cole extend this inning for Haynes. And if nothing else, that would get us to the top of the order for the 4th. And going over to first to check in, that was close, but McCahan does get back. And there he goes. And another poor throw.
Stay in there. Don't back out.
Those throws just sailing a little bit to the right side from the catcher. Pulling the second baseman or the shortstop, whoever's covering. In that case, it was the second baseman off the base.
Such a big steal there to now have a runner in scoring position. A base hit could score. And there he goes again. And that almost was went into left field. So McCahan, another stolen base. Now a hit most definitely would score a run.
Well, with Smith Cole's speed, too, something even on the infield could score that run because he could beat out an infield single.
A little high. And Thornberry laboring here to a 2-1 count. Thornberry 3 walks since he's come in over the past 2 innings. And Smith Cole fights it off. It's to our right. Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger here with you for the Nightly News. We will be back here on Sunday at noon, next Wednesday at 2. And right back up the middle. Huge base hit and RBI for Smith Cole.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting there because he just went with that pitch and just served it right back up the middle over the pitcher's head. Drove in that run with 2 outs. That's a big hit.
And the Knights lead 4-3.
Go, Tyler.
Massively clutch shot there. And, of course, some improvements with runners in scoring position as Cole checking on him over at first base. Haynes walked and stole a base. And checking back in on Smith Cole, you'd mentioned his speed.
Yeah, and I think there's a good chance that he's going to be going right here on this next pitch.
And you would have been correct, Steve. Last season, in 89 at-bats, only 7 steals, 2 caught stealing. I'm actually really surprised by that. In the games that we had, he was running pretty constantly.
Little base knock. Little base knock.
4-3, Knights have fought back from a 3-1 deficit after a home run from Kaufman. And an RBI from Smith Cole. And, oh, that almost hit him. And he will take second base.
Yeah, didn't need to steal it. Gave it to him with the wild pitch.
And Thornberry's just, he came in really pinpoint control and has just lost it here. And you got to think again, because he wasn't the playing starter, and there, Smith Cole halfway down the baseline there, because he wasn't the designated starter, maybe they were going to do a piggyback situation. I'm assuming they're just going to let Thornberry go at this point unless it gets out of hand.
Smith Cole had known what that pitch was going to be like. He certainly could have gone to third there.
Haynes, the designated hitter here today. And Smith Cole does go there and makes it in. A steal for Terrell Smith Cole. And now another runner at third base.
Yeah, it's a tough throw for that catcher with the right-handed batter in the box there. Smith Cole had a good jump.
Haynes with a full count. There are 2 down here. And a serve down the right field line, just foul. That could have been 3. Did roll under that wall over there, so I think it probably would have been capped at 2, but it would have been an RBI. Very similar to the ball that Charles Lawrence had the inside the park home run on last year.
Yeah, just about a foot foul down that right field line.
And still full. And he struck him out. Thornberry gets out of the jam, but not before allowing 2 runs, and the Knights lead 4-3.
The Knightly News Media Club at Central Penn College is looking for new members. Members have the opportunity to get hands-on experiences writing for our student publication, The Knightly News, being a part of the Knightly News podcast, or being a part of our sports live stream broadcast. Email club advisor Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
And we are looking actively for students to help us cover basketball and baseball in the upcoming season. We do have our crew for this year, but November comes around quickly, and we're already looking for photographers, producers, even commentators. So if you're interested out there, or you're a parent of a student who'd be interested, let them know and shoot me an email, paulmiller@centralpenn.edu, and I'll give you some more details. I'm going to take a short break, and we'll be back here with you for the top of the 4th. Back here with you. We are going to the top of the fourth as the Knights holding on to a 4-3 lead.
It'd be really good to see Garcia come out now and get that shutdown inning after the Knights answered there and took the lead. Got a strong 1-2-3 inning in the third. Looking to follow that up with a strong inning here in the fourth.
Garcia has allowed some traffic, but did have the 1-2-3 in the last inning, so we're hoping he can continue that.
He gets that outside corner again that we've been talking about. Christendom with all three of their runs in the second inning today.
Coming straight back at us. Foul ball.
And you weren't kidding when you said straight back.
We literally got that foul ball there. Not directly, but did roll.
Almost got our camera on the bounce there.
Our camera is tough, though. I think it would have powered through. Nonetheless, another strike. And upstairs. And Garcia's now run this count full to Romero. Oh, and he went fishing on the outside corner. Struck him out, but honestly, probably not the pitch Garcia wanted there.
It would have been ball four, definitely, but got him to go swinging at it and keeping that leadoff runner off the base again.
Top of the fourth inning, Knights holding on to a 4-3 lead, and Boyd is taking a little walk because it looked like he got nicked somewhere. He's obviously blocking our view right behind home plate, so we didn't see exactly where he got nicked, but anytime those foul tips, that's the worst part of being a catcher. Not that I really would know. I was never much of a catcher in my day.
Seems to be okay. He walked it off.
And the pitch. And he gets the outside call. Can Garcia hang in there against Roman? Outside with the fastball. Another foul. The pitch. Just inside. And that's in that area that the umpire likes to call, but did not get the call there. Garcia, the pitch. Back at us again. This one didn't almost hit us.
This one caught the net.
I will say, if that would have hit us, that wouldn't have felt too good.
No, it wouldn't.
Because it was coming pretty quick.
I mean, it was on a glance. It hit behind us and bounced down, but right over our heads.
Would you imagine that would get covered by workman's comp?
We are working technically still. President Fedrizzi is over here, so she would have been an eyewitness. I don't see HR today, but...
Oh, my. Knights lead 4-3. Romero at bat, 1 out. In the top of the fourth. And here is a shot, but way foul. And again, Romero hitting 500 coming into this contest.
He's doing a good job of fighting off some tough pitches here. Count level at 2-2 now.
Honestly, the toughest thing without the scoreboard is the count. It's pretty easy to keep up with the score, but it's It is a challenge calling a game to keep up with the count, in addition to all the other things that we have going on back here. Another foul ball.
Almost reminiscent of that Tanner McCoy at bat on Wednesday when he just kept fouling off those tough pitches.
The pitch. Walks him on a tough ball call there.
A little bit outside, but he has been getting some of those calls today on the outside corner. So 1 on and 1 out now.
No one up in the Knights' pen, but stirring, as they say. Big. I'm glad Garcia came back there with that fastball, caught the corner.
Yeah, back in the second when Christendom scored 3, the Knights were getting some stirring out there in the bullpen, but not since. Garcia's been in control since the second.
Off the plate with the slider for a 1-1 count. And spikes it.
Good stop by Boyd there with that ball in the dirt.
2-1. He got the second strike call there. Very similar to the ball 4. Maybe just an inch inside. Way off the plate there. Another full count. This is not where Garcia wants to be. Lost the last hitter.
Now you think that runner is probably going from first here with 1 out and a full count.
And this, Smith Cole to Wilson. And it gets away from McCoy, but they do get the lead runner. They do get the lead runner there. So, Steve, that's really interesting. You had just said that you anticipated Roman running there. He did not. I think if he would have run, that out at second base may be certainly much closer.
It would have been close, for sure, yeah. And it wasn't really a hard-hit double play ball, so they had to rush that throw to first. And fortunately, Tanner was able to run it down before the runner could advance into scoring position.
Back to the top of the order for Christendom, for Amuso, who grounded out and walked and scored back in the second. No appeal, just a strike call.
Yeah, I think it was a little low, but I think he said that he went.
Another good slider off the plate.
That outside corner we've been getting all day.
Hey, at least he's consistent.
Yeah.
Does fight it off. Up into the sweet area. Just high, man. I've definitely looked like a decent pitch, but the umpire did not agree. Slider low. Another full count for Garcia.
3 in a row. He's thrown quite a few pitches.
There is someone warming in the Knights' pen. Going back to first. Caught him safe.
The Knights thought they had it.
And McCoy beside himself.
Tanner might be going back and watching the replay of that one later on.
I hope I got over to that camera fast enough. 2 down. And there he goes, and he spikes it in another walk. And you have to wonder, and it does look like they are going to go to the pen potentially. We're going to take a short break and see what transpires. Back here with you, Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger. First and second for Christendom. Coleman up to bat. Juwan Morales in the game in relief.
Second appearance for Morales, who pitched 1 inning, gave up a walk, but no runs, no hits.
And as we look back to last season, Morales appeared 15 games, one start, 25 innings, and a 6.12 ERA. So it's one of the more reliable arms in Coach Chaz Stevens' bullpen.
Almost the same ERA as Aaron Nola of the Phillies.
But a huge spot here for Morales with 2 down and 2 on. Beautiful. His fastball has some of the most beautiful movement that you'll ever see.
Yeah, it looked like a rising fastball there, and the hitter just couldn't catch up to it.
As they say in baseball, induced vertical break. Those fantasy baseball terms that we use a lot talking about the rise of a pitcher's fastball. And again, our apologies, the wind has picked up slightly, and it does impact our cameras, so we do apologize for that. And walks him. for the bases loaded for the guy that you do not want at the plate right here, Peter Sullivan, hitting .611 with 2 home runs. And I'll tell you, this is one of the most key batters of the game.
Absolutely. Bases loaded here with 2 outs. See if he can get ahead of him here with his first pitch.
Still 2 outs, though, so an out is all that's needed. Just high. And Morales in this big spot. Beautiful breaking pitch. Looked like a slider. Got him, Sullivan, a little off balanced. Ball and a strike. And there is a shot to deep left. And that ball is out of here for a grand slam. Morales allows a grand slam to Sullivan, and that is a massive, massive batter.
Yeah, and we talked about it, Paul. The walk there is really what hurts you to load the bases with 2 out, and you just don't want to do it in front of that particular batter for sure.
So a grand slam from Sullivan. And Morales outside. And the bottom line, Steve, is a fielder's choice and 3 walks. 2 free passes from Garcia and a free pass from Morales is what got us into that mess.
Yeah, the walks are what you really hate to see. And he's just got to settle down now and forget about that as much as possible and just get this last out, give the Knights a chance to come back and hopefully fight back again.
And there's another shot. And now you got to be to the point, if you're Coach Stevens, like, is Morales the guy? Ball gets all the way to the wall. A double for Lopez. Excuse me, that was Joe Romero. And the Knights are in some serious trouble here. I would imagine Morales has one more batter as Thomas steps in, struck out, and flew out to center. And there is some action in the Knights bullpen. And again, this is a doubleheader, folks, so you don't want to throw out all of your bullpen arms. And there's a shot to center, and this ball is carrying, but Joseph does haul it in, but not before. Sullivan, Peter Sullivan, the catcher, with a grand slam, putting Christendom up 7-4.
With Weis Market's Holiday Rewards program, customers can redeem their Weis Rewards points for a free or discounted ham, turkey, lamb, and more. Customers can redeem their points from March 26th to April 5th. Visit weismarkets.com for more information. Eat better, spend less. That's Weis.
We will take just a short break and be back here with you in just a moment. Back to the top of the order with Wilson.
And we're starting to feel those raindrops coming down now. It's gotten pretty dark here.
And as beautiful of a day as it was this morning, it looks like it's going to be not quite as beautiful here this afternoon. We'll stay here with you, but behind Wilson. And, the problem is, in terms of our ability to continue to play, is all on the grounds crew here at FNB Field. And, of course, we have never, that I recall, have had a delay and have come back. So if they pull us off the field, I'm going to assume that that's it for the day, and maybe this would have to be made up at a different time. I just don't know.
Well, we've looked at the radar there between innings, and there's a pretty big cell coming, so it might not be real heavy rain, but it looks like it's going to be around for a little while. And the fans have moved back underneath the roof for protection from the rain. A couple umbrellas went up earlier.
Nice.
Good pitch
Struck
there.
him out. That was what Thornberry's been looking for. Did strike out Haynes, but I'll tell you, this could be the best opportunity for the Knights to claw back into this contest, down 3 after the grand slam to Sullivan. And I'll tell you, Steve, that just sucked the life out of the crowd here.
Yeah, it really did, and you can see the Knights kind of lose a little bit of energy there too. So I'd really like to see them come back and get a couple base runners here and get something going again.
Let's go, DT.
And this is going to be a tough play. And he got him.
It's a good job by the first baseman to come up with that throw down in the dirt.
Brings up Tanner McCoy. And Thornberry delivers a strike to McCoy.
Thornberry looking for the shutdown inning now here after his team got him 4.
The pitch. Tries to go the other way with it. And this is going to be a really tough play.
Nice play there by the pitcher to pounce on that ball quickly and make a strong throw to first. So the Knights can't answer back here in the 4th. Go to the 5th, 7-4. The Central Penn College app was designed with students in mind. The app brings the school to your fingertips and enables you to connect with the Central Penn community. Stay on top of your events, classes, and assignments with the built-in calendar function and get notified of important dates, deadlines, and security announcements. Make friends, ask questions, and access campus resources at any time. Search Central Penn College in the App Store.
And we'll be right back.
Back at you for the top of the 5th. Morales is back on the mound for the Knights as they trail 7-4. He gets that first pitch strike. Paul is on his way to the car to get an umbrella to give us a little bit of shelter here from this rain. Not raining hard, but it is raining pretty steady right now. Another good pitch there to get ahead 0-2. Like Morales kind of falling off the mound there a little bit. That pitch bounced well in front of the plate. Ball and 2 strikes now. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Way outside. It looks like Morales is struggling a little bit with his footing out there on the mound right now after getting ahead quickly 0-2. Full count now to the leadoff batter here in the 5th. Fly ball to right field, but it looks like it should be playable, and it is. That is the first out here in the top of the 5th. Good first pitch strike there again. Sam Romero, the batter now for Christendom. Ball and a strike here to Romero. Yeah, good second strike. Ball and 2 strikes after the leadoff batter flew out to right field. Outside to even the count.
I was sort of like one of those, I'm going to go hit the TV side for a second things while I went out and grabbed an umbrella.
Guess what? Another full count. Had a lot of those today. Good pitch there to get the strikeout, to get the first 2 batters of the inning.
And I'll tell you, Steve, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, because if the Knights want to get ahead in this game, at the end of this inning, it will at least be an official contest. And so if the Knights want to get back, they're going to have to try to make this inning go pretty quickly because, again, we're certainly not meteorologists, but we understand what the radar looks like, and it's not good. Does get that first call. Not really raining at this point, just ominous, I suppose you would say. I will say that this might be the first time I've ever seen Steve Hassinger in a ball cap.
I mean, that you don't see that very often. It's when I play golf to try to keep the rain off the glasses.
I was going to say, Steve, I've played golf with you 20 times. I've never once seen you wear a hat.
Paul, what you don't realize is that if it gets really dark, this one actually has lights on it.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen something quite like that. 2 down. And that got away from Boyd. And if anything, I'm going to have to preemptively apologize in case this umbrella hits Steve, because I'm trying to cover us both up here, and
I appreciate it.
It's
You're
a
doing a great
little
job.
challenging.
Well, when that gust of wind comes along, it can be tricky.
There's a shot to center, and Joseph came in, thought better, and retires the side in order. So after Morales had a rocky 4th, makes it through the 5th unscathed. We will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Knights trail 7-4.
Calling all gamers, Central Penn College was recently accepted into the National Association of Collegiate Esports. We are now part of the association that boasts more than 130 schools and over 3,000 student athletes. If you have any interest in the Central Penn Gaming Club or the esports program, please reach out to Club Advisor Donnie Lewis.
Take a short break and be right back with back here with you. Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger for the Nightly News. Nic Joseph steps in. 4, 5, 6 here. Then can the Knights push a few runs across? Thornberry has really been up and down, Steve. Came in, struck out the side, but then allowed runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings, and then retired the side in order in the 4th.
And it looked like he got stronger and more confident after that grand slam, too. And, of course, as soon as I say that, he throws it behind the batter.
Well, I queued you up, so blame me.
I'll keep Joseph loose in the box there.
And didn't get all of it, and it gives it a ride out to center, but kind of a lazy pop fly there. Back-to-back flyouts for Nic Joseph, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Steps in Gabe Kaufman, who hit that line drive home run to right field. And in all honesty, in my personal opinion, the best place to take in a game here. Only 3 rows of seats out there, but usually have seats available out there, and they're among the cheaper in the ballpark. As Kaufman drives it to short, and that ball gets away from him, and Kaufman's going to be safe. I don't know why Kaufman was charging back to the bag.
I'm not 100% sure that he touched first base when he went by, but he may have. I'm not sure. It kind of looked like he might have. He thought maybe that he missed a base.
Fair enough. Nonetheless, it's a base hit for Kaufman, 2 for 3 on the day. Brings up McCahan, who struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, stole 2 bases and scored. Just caught the bottom of the zone. And hopefully getting a little bit of a reprieve here with this rain. Hopefully we can at least get this first contest in. And then I think that there will be a discussion about continuing.
Well, one good thing, Paul, you don't have that glare on the iPad like you had earlier.
This is true. I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'll tell you, on a bright sunny day, it is very, very, very difficult to even see the, I mean, you all know, if you go outside with your phone, it's difficult to see your phone. Imagine trying to run 3 cameras. And McCahan down on strikes. Here's Tanner Boyd.
Go, Tanner.
2 down. And it would be wonderful to see the Knights get at least one more run in here to get within 2. Down 7-4. And there he goes. Kaufman overslid the bag, but was in there safely. Now he's in.
Go, Tanner.
And Boyd smashes it, and that steal's going to be huge. In comes Kaufman, and he's in there standing with a 1 or 2 out single to drive in a run to put the Knights within striking distance as the tying run comes to the plate.
Yeah, that's a big run for the Knights there to answer and to get that run. And now they've got a runner at first. We're going to have a courtesy runner for Boyd.
This will be number 21, Weston Campbell. Again, in the USCAA, pitchers or catchers who get on base are allowed a courtesy runner. And Smith Cole pops it up. Should be a rather routine play, and it is nonetheless. The Knights do tack on another run with that Tanner Boyd single, and still trail 7-5 as we go into the top of the 6th.
Hop into great deals this Easter at your local Weis markets. In addition to redeeming your holiday ham, you can add a complimentary Weis quality item to your cart. Visit weismarkets.com/rewards for more details. Eat better, spend less. That's Weis.
I'm very lucky this year that I don't have to cook Easter dinner. I have in the past.
Jackie cooking?
No, we were going to be going to Jim Thorpe that weekend. We're going to be coming home. We're going to be over at her family's, but they are going to take on Easter this year. We do Thanksgiving and Christmas, so we're kind of trying to get away from having to do all 3 holidays because it's a lot of work. We have usually 15 to 20 people.
I cannot blame you for that. Jim Thorpe is a lovely place. Had an opportunity just to visit there for the day one time. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
We're going to take a short break. Back here with you, Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger for the Nightly News Media Club. We'll be back here with you on Sunday, and hopefully you can join us. 70 degrees, calling for some clouds, hopefully no rain. As Morales is still back out there pitching to Reese, who grounded out in the second and reached on a fielder's choice, but was stranded at third. Scored on the grand slam by Sullivan. And this is the bottom of the order, so they're going to be going back to the top of the order here in the 7th inning. Well, right here in the 6th inning. So this is going to be very key for Morales.
It's been a good game, a good competitive game, back and forth here. And really important here to hold Christendom without a run here and keep it a 2-run game.
And hits the backstop. And interestingly enough, once that brief shower passed through, the wind is almost totally died down, which is certainly a good thing, at least on the short term. Looking ever likely that we should be able to get at least this game in, and then we'll have to evaluate where we are. Another pitch outside. They do have somebody up and appears to be ready. Again, we can't see who is out there.
Definitely a right-hander.
Well, if we can get another camera hooked up, I can maybe put a camera out in the bullpen. That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Just got a piece of that one. Did Weis. Another full count for Morales. This is crucial that he throws a strike here. Right back up the box. And Smith Cole comes all the way over. Doesn't get it. Looked like he had him shaded a little more to pull, and that was really tough ranging across. But at least he kept the ball in the infield. And
Yeah, good job to field it, but he really had no chance to throw him out at first.
well, he was the Gold Glover last year, so we don't want to question his defensive aptitude. Knights still trail by 2 in the top of the 6th, so 6 more outs for the Knights. Just high. As we go back to Amuso, who's walked twice, scored once, and is 0 for 1.
I don't really want to test my 61-year-old eyes to determine for sure who's warming up, but it looks like a single digit on the back, and it might be Jordan Spatafor.
The senior had a really rough outing earlier this season. He's going to be looking to gain some momentum here. I'll trust your eyes over mine any day, Steve. And this has a chance for 2. Can Wilson do it? For 1, they are not going to pull the trigger on the second, but they do get the lead runner.
Yeah, ball just wasn't hit hard enough for them to be able to turn 2. So good job to get the lead runner there at second base and keep that runner out of scoring position.
So 1 down as Weis is taken off the base paths. Amuso there. Leadoff hitter does have some speed, and that gets away from them. And again, puts a runner in scoring position on the wild pitch. And I'll tell you, Morales is going to have to do better than this in the future if the Knights are going to have really any shot at the postseason tournaments, either ESAC or Small College World Series, because he is definitely one of the keys out of the bullpen, and this is frankly been an outing he'd like to forget. He is keeping us in the game, though. But he's just running counts full. He's probably ran 4 or 5 full counts to this point. And, of course, allowed the massive grand slam to Sullivan.
And of course, just as we put everything away and said that the rain had stopped, it started again.
And this is a shot to right. Kaufman brings it in. They do tag. So 2 down, but a runner at third. And who do you know? Sullivan steps in, hit that massive grand slam. And it has really, really been off to a hot start. Certainly, potentially one of the favorites for the first team all ESAC.
And of course, you want to be very careful pitching to him here, but you can't be too careful because the ball in the dirt that gets away again will score that runner from third.
And Romero doubled last time, so it's not like even if Sullivan gets on, it's going to be any easier to get out of this inning. great slider, and that's going to be out of play. Counts 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Morales. High. 2-1. Morales deals. Beautiful pitch, and I thought that was for sure a strike, but unfortunately the umpire did not agree.
Just missed.
I'm assuming inside. So 3-1 to Sullivan. And does battle him and gets that second strike. I love that the Knights have a bat boy this year. I'm sorry, Steve, what were you saying?
I just said another full count. This is at least 5 batters that he's had a full count with in the last 2 innings.
What can Morales do? 3-2. And he gets him to pop up. I want to make sure he catches it first. Thank you, Nick. Nic Joseph with a putout. I got to tell you, what a gutsy at-bat by Morales there to get Sullivan to pop out. And we are no worse for the wear, but still trail 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 6 more outs for the Knights to put 2 across.
Did you ever consider working on campus? Visit the financial aid office to learn about work-study opportunities for students. Positions are available across campus, the front desk, the learning hub, athletics, and more. Students must have been enrolled for at least 1 full term and be in satisfactory academic standing. Contact Amy Lloyd in the financial aid office for more information.
We will take just a short break as there is a pitching change. Thornberry comes out of the contest. Number 1, Sam Romero comes in, so we will allow him to warm up, and we'll be right back. Tyler Haynes steps in a crucial at-bat as Sam Romero comes in to try to close this game out for Christendom with a 2-run lead.
As you said, we have stats for 5 of their 7 games, and according to those stats, this will be the 3rd appearance for Romero. He's 1-0 with a 5.14 ERA. He's pitched 7 innings, given up 4 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 9 hits.
And the rain is really starting to fall. If the Knights want to stay in this game, they're going to have to do something. Here's a shot to right. Does come up with it as Haynes flies out. It's going to get us back to the top of the order. Wilson will step in. On the bright side, the top of the order as well as the middle of the order will have a chance to say something as long as the rain doesn't significantly increase. And the wind is really picked up here. And if you can look out to center field and see those flags, they are almost going up. And Wilson takes a big cut. The wind is just really wreaking havoc on our camera, folks. I do apologize.
Yeah, blowing hard from right to left. It'll be interesting to see what would happen with a well-hit fly ball to left field. The wind is definitely going to help it.
And such a key spot here. And Wilson does not give in there. The pitch off the plate. And again, that's one of those notorious in the vicinity that the umpire has been calling all day, but Wilson didn't take the bait.
Didn't miss by much, a little low.
Another one outside, and another one that I got to tell you, with 2 strikes, I'm not sure if I'm keeping the bat on my shoulders, but you know, that's why I'm back here. A huge opportunity here, because if Wilson reaches, David Thomas, Nic Joseph, and Tanner McCoy, as well as Gabe Kaufman, await. And it gets away, and that was 3-2, right? That was a walk. Okay, now 3-2. That's what I thought. I thought it was a 3-2 count. Stevens thought it's a walk. I also said that, if you could have heard my call.
Umpires getting together now to figure the count.
They're going to give him the walk.
That it is a walk.
And that is a massive, massive break for the Knights. Not really even a break, just a mistake. But I'm sorry. Again, I don't want to be critical of our players, but you got to know what the count is as a batter, and he didn't make any move to first base.
No, he did not.
And he didn't even act like he thought he was walked. So, again, maybe that's just something that Jamarcus has to be a little bit more cognizant of in the future. Again, no offense to the umpire, there is no scoreboard. So it is a challenge to keep up. Even for us, calling this game, it's probably even more so difficult for the umpires.
He's got a big lead at first base.
I mean, as the tying run, I can't imagine sending him here with Thomas at the plate.
You know, if he goes, you better make it, because, yeah, you got a couple of power hitters coming up here, and he, the runner or the batter at home is the tying run.
The pitch. And there he goes. It was a hit and run, it looked like. Came right back to us, but I didn't hear it land, so might have gotten up on the roof. A huge at-bat for Thomas, who is 1 for 2 with 2 stolen bases. As you mentioned, coming into the game, a little cool, but here's his chance. And going back to first base, and he gets in there safely.
Really can't get picked off here either.
He's back in there safely yet again. Again, a huge spot here for Thomas.
Let's go now, Dave.
And that was his pitch, and I know that Thomas wants that one back because he was just ahead of it. We've got Thomas, McCoy, Joseph, and Kaufman. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Knights trail 7-5. And that's coming straight back at us.
Boy, and he was right on that. He just fouled it straight back.
back again. Again, if I'm Romero, I understand that Wilson's got the speed, but I can't. I guess he was running, but it was a hit and run. I'd just be really surprised if he would go. And he bluffed. And honestly, I think if the catcher Sullivan throws back to first, I think Wilson might have been in trouble.
You can't stray too far off that base because you definitely can't get picked off and you can't get thrown out running second here.
And Romero the pitch. And this is going to go right to the hole. I'm surprised that he went to second. That was a very, very close play.
Yeah, good play by the second baseman there to get the lead runner and keep him out of scoring position.
The old 4-6. I thought that was going to be a lot of trouble for Christendom. They did play that well. Again, I'm surprised they went to the lead runner because it very easily could have been first and second and only one out. But McCoy up still represents the tying run with the Knights down 2. Just off the plate. Thomas, definitely a fast runner. Maybe not quite as fast as Wilson, but I'd have to watch them race to find out who's faster.
Both faster than us.
Oh, without question. I was never a speed. Thomas at first after the fielder's choice. McCoy red hot this season. And miraculously, the rain is, at least for the most part, held off. We have a little bit of drizzle, but I mean, I wouldn't even call this drizzle.
It's looking brighter over right field now.
And lets that one go straight down Broadway. I got to tell you, it'd have been tough for me to let that one go. The pitch. He struck him out. Excuse me. He tried to ring him up, and that brings the count full.
And Tanner shaking his head at that one. Thought it was inside.
Now with 2 strikes, Tanner has got, as he checks on Thomas over at first, Tanner has got to guard the plate, as my T-ball coach used to tell me.
The runner will be taken off from first with a 3-2 count and 2 out.
He struck him out, and a massive strikeout to Tanner McCoy there, which does leave Joseph Kaufman and McCahan in the bottom of the 7th, but we got to get there first as the Knights trail 7-5.
Are you a busy bunny this Easter? No problem. Weis Markets has store-made rotisserie chicken and hand-tossed pizza. Customers can also check out our heat and serve meals that are great for on the go. Eat better, spend less. That's Weis.
And Morales will come back out to warm up, and we will take a short break. Back here with you, Paul Miller, Steve Hassinger for the Nightly News. We are here in the top of the 7th inning. Your Knights trail 7-5 after the Sullivan grand slam. Fortunately, we should not have to see him again the rest of the way. He flew out to Nic Joseph to end that last inning. And Morales still out there. Garcia and Morales, generally speaking, looked pretty well. I think Morales just made a couple of mistakes. Garcia got himself into trouble with a couple of walks in the 4th, and then a walk in, a home run, and then a double from Morales. But otherwise, Morales has looked pretty good. And a gorgeous slider there. To Romero. This is Joe Romero, not Sam the pitcher, although Joe does pitch. Over to Smith Cole, comes up with it, goes over to first, and the stretch for McCoy. And what a play.
Good stretch by McCoy. Just a little bit of a hitch there before he threw that ball over, so it was a really close play at first base. Paul, viewers might notice the 25 on the left sleeve of the Knights jerseys again this year, and I don't think we've mentioned this yet on the broadcast, but of course, the 25 is in memory of former Knights Angel Mercado, who we lost all too young at the age of 19. And that's the second out of the inning there, is that line drive to shortstop.
Great play by Cole.
So let's see if we can get a 1-2-3 inning here and get some runs in the bottom of the inning.
Two quick outs for the Knights. And I'll tell you, if you're the Knights, these are the guys that you want up in the bottom half of this inning. So just got to get there. And give all the credit in the world to Thornberry. He came in, wasn't even expecting to start this game, came in after a batter and a couple of pitches, immediately walked the first batter, did give up a home run, but really was steady for them in the middle parts of this contest. Was most likely scheduled to pitch at some capacity in this game, probably not the 4+ innings that he ended up pitching. There's a shot that's going to go up near the box where our team is, our athletic department. So looks like Donnell Loud got that, the athletics intern that I am working with this term. He's up there, so keeping everybody safe. And the pitch, Thornberry just gets a piece of that. I'll tell you, Thornberry looks like he spends a lot of time in the gym. The pitch from Morales. And he says no, and Morales was about to walk off the mound there.
Looked like he held up there. Evens the count at 2-2.
The pitch. Over his head to run the count full yet again. Huge pitch from Morales. And he struck him out. Huge 1-2-3 inning for the Knights. And like I said, the people who you want to be up are up. Joseph, Kaufman, McCahan, and the Knights need 2 to tie up this game.
Central Penn students and alumni have free access to Handshake, your career management platform, to help you discover new career paths and find amazing jobs and internships. We understand that students can be busy, so we've pre-populated some basic information on your profile for you. Go ahead, claim your account by clicking on the tile at My Central Penn, downloading the Handshake app to your phone, or going to joinhandshake.com.
We're going to take just a short break. We'll be back here with you to see if the Knights can keep this thing going. Down 2. And here we go, bottom of the 7th. Can the Knights strike back and get 2 across the plate to extend this game? And takes the first strike. And that wind is just picked up. Joseph 0 for 3. Struck out in the first and flew out in the 3rd and 5th. Really need a clutch base hit here.
Yeah, I'd like to get that leadoff hitter on, and with some of these guys coming up here that could tie the game with one swing.
He got hit. Yeah. I heard the nick.
Yeah, hit that forearm guard, I believe, and certainly didn't hurt him, but it did nick him and puts that leadoff runner on that we were looking for.
So we will take that. Again, I can't imagine Joseph's running, but who knows? Down 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Maybe Stevens wants to roll the dice. That pitch looked very far outside. He's called ones even more inside than that balls today. And Kaufman to the 3rd baseman and does get the lead runner, but they are not going to get Kaufman, so the fielder's choice keeps hope alive for the Knights.
Yeah, that feed to second was just a little bit low, made it tough for the second baseman to be able to turn that play. He did a good job, though, to hang on and get the lead runner.
And here is an opportunity for McCahan to make his presence felt with Central Penn. The freshman, he did walk and score earlier, but otherwise struck out twice. So I can see with 1 out, maybe sending Kaufman here. Again, I know we have the tie and run, so it'd be a gamble, but...
Yeah, I don't think I would, because that run really doesn't mean anything. If he does steal second, it keeps you out of the double play. That's about it.
I think that was part of the thought process I was thinking, but...
Sure.
Because nothing worse than being down 2 and having a walk-off double play. McCahan takes a strike. Quickly in trouble here. Big swing. And the pitch. There's a shot to right. Back. And it's off the wall. And it gets over the head. And there in comes one. He's waving Gabe Kaufman home. And he's safe. McCahan with a massive RBI double. And now the Knights are just but 1 run away from tying this thing up.
Really surprised to see him wave that runner in. Again, that run is not the tying run. The tying run is out at second.
I'm surprised Gabe didn't slide. is where I'm surprised. I think once the ball got over his head, I think that it seemed like a sure thing. Gabe, in fairness, stumbled around third base. Apparently there was an appeal there. And Tanner Boyd steps in. Singled, walked, drove in a run. 1 for 3 is Boyd, and frankly, all he needs is a hit to the outfield to tie this thing up. And with Smith Cole's struggles, it's basically up to Boyd. I mean, I know there's still only 1 out, but... And again, this all got started with a Nic Joseph hit by pitch. Downstairs. Can Boyd get a base hit? Outside, quickly 2-0.
Being a little careful here with Tanner. Doesn't want to give him anything too good to hit, knowing that a base hit does tie this game up. But if he walks him, the winning run rather is on first base.
Trying to see if McCahan is paying attention, which he was.
If Tanner does get on, you assume that there would be a courtesy runner for him.
Just got a piece of that one. Again, Boyd 1 for 2 with an RBI and a steal and a walk. So he's had a good day at the plate. Low again, quickly, 3 balls, no strikes. And that's outside. He walked him on 4 pitches. And to Steve's point, the winning run now on first base. And again, Weston Campbell, the pinch runner. You've got Smith, Cole, and Haynes. And a visit to the mound means we will take a short break and be right back. Well, here is a chance for Smith Cole to get out of his slight funk to start the season. A base hit here ties this thing up. And Romero steps off the mound.
Paul, would you even consider a double steal here to get that winning run into scoring position?
I'm usually pretty aggressive, but a sacrifice isn't the worst idea. Especially with Miss Smith Cole's speed, he can leg it out. But again, I think anything's on the table here with 1 out.
Yeah, I think with 1 out, he's squaring around there thinking about bunting for a hit, maybe.
McCahan just far too off the base there.
Yeah, that was really close play at second. Good
I mean,
throw by the catcher.
listen, I understand that he's trying to, if the bunt does get down, get to third without getting thrown out. However, he had no sense of urgency to get back to that base. So I give Sullivan credit for checking in on him. I mean, I'll tell you, Smith Cole, that is a pitch that's been called a strike all day long. And that would have been strike 3. Huge spot.
Bunt now with 2 strikes, obviously.
Does get a piece of it, and that's going to be foul out of play. Down in the Giant Pavilion.
Yeah, good job to fight that off and get a piece of it to stay alive here.
And the pitch. And there's a shot! Here we go! And he's waving him in, and here comes McCahan!
So he's going to do the third.
And they almost got him at third, and this game is tied. Heads up play there by Christendom. Terrell Smith-Cole with the RBI game-tying double.
Yeah, close play there at third, but he just barely beat the throw and did a good job not to overslide the bag there and maybe get tagged out coming back.
And Tyler Haynes still with only 1 out and 2 in scoring position.
And they're going to bring the infield and the outfield in here. So good hitting situation here. And anything in the dirt, too, that winning run can score from third.
Do you walk him and put the double play in order?
You got a speedy batter on deck, though.
Here's Haynes, 0 for 2, walked and stole a base in the second. And my gosh, the Knights have been down the vast majority of this contest.
Yeah, did a good job fighting back here.
Big cut from Haynes. Still with only 1 down, Wilson will get up here. Did have that laced single in the first, but is not, 1 for 3 with a walk. And Campbell at third. And that line shot, but out of play.
Again, even though he's ahead of the batter now, he's got to be careful because he doesn't want to get one in the dirt and get it by the catcher.
Pitch, and he struck him out. Haynes had the chance to be the hero.
Yeah, big pitch there, and now the infield and the outfield will go back to normal depth.
And not entirely sure what the meeting of the minds is about between Smith Cole and Wilson.
Yeah, not the typical kind of meeting that you would see there between the runner on second and the batter.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. Is he allowed to leave the base? I mean,
he called timeout.
I think that's what the manager's saying. Like, what do you? I've honestly never seen anything like that.
I don't know that I have ever seen that.
And the coach of Christendom just not happy.
I mean, I don't know if Smith Cole thinks he picked up something on the pitcher with a move or tipping pitches or what the situation is there.
Coach Stevens is out of the dugout chirping too. I mean, this is as tense as it gets here, Steve.
The umpire says, no, go ahead, we're good. Let's play.
And Wilson has the chance to be the hero. And this is out of play. Oh! And the first baseman off camera, guys. The first baseman was trying to catch that to get out of this inning and went head first into the padding. Now, yes, if you've been to FNB, there is thick padding there. However, he ran directly into that and is still down.
Yeah, he was only about a foot away from it when the ball landed, and he is sitting up now, but boy, he went into that wall hard.
He had an excellent shot, did Reese, to come up with that ball, but unfortunately is down, and I think we will take a short break. Reese did make it off the field under his own power. But here we are, still with second and third. And Wilson has a chance to win this game. Two down after the Haynes strikeout. So it's win the game or go to extras. I suppose he could walk. And he gets just a piece of that, which caroms around up in the club level. David Thomas stands on deck if somehow Wilson can walk. But again, one of the two men needs a hit, or we're going to go to extras. And that was high. One ball, two strikes after two fouls. The pitch, and he struck him out. And Wilson had the chance, but was unable to capitalize. With that being said, though, the Knights do score two in the bottom of the seventh, and we're going to go to the eighth for free baseball. We'll be right back. Back here with you, Paul Miller and Steve Hassinger. And first up, Sam Rosario, the pitcher. First pitch swinging. And flies out to right for one down as Morales still in this contest. The Knights rallied from a 2-run deficit to tie this game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Between the length of this game and the ominous forecast, as that one gets away from Morales, I don't have any official word, but I would at least be surprised if there is a second game today. But again, I have no insight on that whatsoever. Can Morales get through this inning unscathed? One quick out. And this one's going to be out of play as McCahan watches it go into the crowd. And those drops are back. The pitch, a little low. The 2-2. And this is going to go to McCoy, who is going to take it himself for a quick 2 outs. The 3 unassisted. Quickly 2 down, and we get to number 2, who appears to be a pinch, the person who came in for Reese. George Story. After that very, very difficult injury, Reese had a beat on the foul ball and ran into the padding on the first base side face first. Was able to make it off the field under his own power, but this is Story's first at bat since entering the game. A good slider from Morales. And again, after that grand slam, you got to give Morales a lot of credit here, Steve. He's only allowed 1 base runner.
He really has kept us in the game and given us a chance to come back and to tie this game.
And Morales, he struck him out. What an impressive 1-2-3 inning, and now it all is in front of the Knights.
Yeah, and you can really see the momentum change here with that last inning. The Knightly News Media Club at Central Penn College is looking for new members. Members have the opportunity to get hands-on experiences writing for our student publication, The Knightly News, being a part of the Knightly News podcast, or being a part of our sports live stream broadcast. Email Club Advisor Professor Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
And Steve, while we have a second, one thing that I haven't had the chance to talk about, you just mentioned the Knightly News podcast. Of course, you were the first ever guest on the show. And Steve, you were also the special guest on our 10th anniversary edition earlier this term. I do encourage you right here on this very YouTube channel that you are currently watching. You can go back and listen to that podcast. We had a really nice time talking about and reminiscing about the show. So we'll have to go back and check that one out.
Always enjoy being on the podcast. And, you know, one of my favorite things about the Knightly News Media Club is the opportunity that it gives our students to build their resumes and to get some hands-on experience in their field of study. So it's a great opportunity for our students and a great way to get the word out there about all that is happening at Central Penn. And I'm really hoping that we are going to take advantage of that 1-2-3 inning and end this game right here in the bottom of the 8th, because it does not look particularly good to the north.
Ominous, as they say. And I'll tell you, Steve, this is just like last time. These are the guys you want up.
Absolutely.
David Thomas, Tanner McCoy, Nic Joseph, Kaufman, McCahan, and Boyd. And one's all they need. And just foul from Thomas. Again, Steve, when we were in the last inning, I just made a general comment that based on the looks of the weather and now the time, remember we started this game 10 minutes early, 20 minutes early. And here we are nearly 3 hours later. And there's a shot. This is going to be really tough play from the hole. And he is called out.
Really good play by the shortstop there to field that in the hole and make a strong throw, and a good play on the other end by the first baseman to scoop that and come up with it. Just barely got it.
I suppose it's possible that I might be biased, but he looked like he was in there to me, Steve. Well, McCoy has a chance to be the hero. Again, taking nothing away from Christendom. Great play there. And quick strike. That would have been old Tom Davis's chance to talk about Enrico Palazzo based on that last call. If you're out there, Tom, we miss you, buddy.
Yeah, we do. Maybe we'll see you on the golf course someday.
And McCoy. Again, that's a tough one to lay off of after he just called something very, very similar to that a strike.
And we saw Tanner on Wednesday take some of those pitches and go the opposite way and get some big hits.
Inside. Any base runner is good. Now, I suppose the question is, if McCoy reaches, do you pinch run?
That's a possibility. Tanner's a big guy, not the most fleet of foot.
Well, certainly not to take anything away from his speed, but...
And we did see him steal a couple bases on Wednesday, I believe.
He's probably going to give me a hard time for even saying that. Sometimes I deserve it. The pitch. And this is going to be another tough play, and it gets through! I think that was going to be a tough play no matter what, Steve.
It was, and he knew he had to field that and make a quick throw, and he just came up on it a little bit, and the ball went underneath the glove.
We will find out. It does not appear that Coach Stevens is going to pinch run as Nic Joseph steps in. And McCoy takes a very healthy lead down there at first. Just off the plate.
And you know that Joseph has the green light here, looking for something good to hit, drive in the gap.
And there it is! It's deep! It's high! It's far! It's out of here! Nic Joseph with the walk-off home run here in the bottom of the 8th inning, propelling the Knights to one of the most exciting victories in school history.
Joseph getting mobbed by his teammates at home plate. Joseph got ahead in the count there and worked it to count in his favor, just looking for something that he could drive, and drive it he did, all the way over the left center field wall at the 3:55 mark. What a great game today. It was back and forth the whole way. Christendom jumped out after the Knights scored 1 in the first, and Christendom answered with 3, and then the Knights fought their way back to take a 4-3 lead, only to see Christendom get a grand slam and come up 7-4. But the Knights fought back, and they tied it in the 7th, and they walk it off in the 8th with the Nic Joseph 2-run homer.
You know, the irony here, Steve, is that I literally said to Nick before the game that I needed another home run so I could work on my home run call. And Nick, when you listen to this, I sure hope that that was better than the last one. My gosh, Steve.
And
Holy
Nick,
cow.
You said you needed to work on your home run trot. What a trot that was, to trot home and be in the arms of your teammates celebrating a walk-off victory today.
Absolutely unbelievable, and no offense to everyone else, the Nightly News Player of the Game is going to be Nic Joseph. Nick came in to the at-bat in the 7th inning, 0 for 3, took the hit by pitch, and yes, while he was thrown out on the base paths, Gabe Kaufman remained on base, ultimately came around to score. Tanner McCoy, that great single. This is elation. What a game for the Knights. Credit where credit is due. Garcia had a strong start. Other than that grand slam from Morales, came in 3 innings and one other inning with only 1 run allowed. Really incredible ball from Joan Morales as well. This was a team effort as the Knights win. Let me change the score, 9-7 in a walk-off.
Yeah, and early on when Morales was in there, Paul, you said that this was an outing that he would want to forget. I have a feeling now it might be an outing that he wants to remember.
And of course, with all of that said, he gets the win.
Yeah, he hung in there really well and gave the Knights the chance to come back. He could have certainly hung his head after that grand slam and not finished the game strongly, but the Knights had that chance to come back, and what a comeback it was today.
Wow. How do you top that? Well, normally I would say that to join us back here in just a few minutes, unfortunately I don't have an answer to if Game 2 is going to happen. So we are going to sign off. Should Game 2 happen, we will be back here with you in about 20 minutes. But again, we don't have any sense of that. And you can keep an eye on centralpennknights.com for any more information, but we're going to sign off. How do you top that?
Well, yeah, no, it's just a great win for the Knights, and one that hopefully will build their confidence moving forward. They won 3 in a row now, and like you said, I don't know if we're going to have a second game here or not. Radar does not look like we're going to have a second game. And again, it looks very dark out there to the north. The grounds crew on their phones here, I think, trying to figure out the best thing to do here, because they certainly don't want to have a lot of rain on this field before they open their season as well.
All right, well, and it looks to me like they are taking the bases out, so I believe that is going to be it for a game, but what a game it was. Probably a game I will remember for the rest of my life, Steve, and I was here with you to call it, and it was such a pleasure. Knights win 9-7. Nightly News Player of the Game, Nic Joseph, with a walk-off 2-run home run. We'll be back here with you again on Sunday at noon and next Wednesday at 2. Until then, for Paul Miller, for Steve Hassinger, for the Nightly